Hey folks, welcome to Verified Investing. My name is Gareth Soloway, Chief Market Strategist here. Now, in today's video, let's dive into the Solana chart. There's some interesting things going on that can give us a clue as to where this could go up to before it potentially has a bigger pullback. And again, as a technician, it's all charts, no BS. What are the charts saying? Remember, charts don't have a bias. They are what they are, and they give us clues about the next major move, key resistance, and major support. So let's dive into the chart of Solana here. We can see that Solana has now gone up 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 days in a row. So in all fairness, it's due for a pause. What we notice in technical analysis is that when you have 6 or 7 up days in a row, generally you're due for a pause or small pullback. Same thing on the downside. When you have 6 or 7 days to the downside, you're oftentimes coming to the end of a move or getting ready to bounce. Good example would be right here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And then look, we get a bounce right there. So these are little clues that the charts can offer us. Again, I refer to it as time counts in my chatter on the markets, whether it's stocks, crypto, or commodities. Time counts are universal, and they are just breadcrumbs that enable us to really get insight into where the next move could be. All right, so what we have here recently is the Solana chart kind of basically taking out an upsloping, ascending trend line. So we can see very clearly, and this is just, I love the simplicity of trend line analysis. Notice I don't have crazy indicators. I mean, you look at some of these videos that people are making out there, and like literally I get car sick or seasick or nauseous just looking. I mean, there's so much information on the screen that it's impossible to really tell what the heck's going on. But the simplicity of trend lines basically shows us that we broke out above this 225 level. Since then, we've hit that time count, so you're expecting a little bit of a pullback, potentially a retrace to the scene of the crime, and you should still get further upside in the Solana chart. Now, the question is, where could we potentially go? And one of the things that's catching my eye here, folks, is that there's a low pivot going back to April. Now, again, you might say, well, yeah, it's a low pivot, but, I guess if you go back to 2024 January, we were a little bit lower. But the way you find pivots on the chart, and this again is really, really important, is that pivot should be the major low with really no low lower on either side for a period of time. In general, on a daily chart, I'm looking back at least 3 months and forward 3 months, right? So again, in this chart of Solana, if we go back, I mean, literally you have to go back from April of 2025 all the way back over a year. So we know that is a major pivot low. And then look at this. I mean, literally, you haven't come back down to that low since April as well, which is more than 3 months. So this is obviously a major, what we refer to as a major pivot. The other thing, pivots often occur with major news stories. And what do we know happened in early April? We know the markets dumped out on the Liberation Day tariff fiasco, kind of the scare there. And ultimately, that was the low of the market. So it's a major low, suffice it to say. Now, one of the things I like to do is I like to find my levels of support first. So the first support level is very, very clear. We take our lows right here. And the reason why you want to find support, even though I favor a continued move up after a small pullback on Solana, is that you want to know as a technician, number one, where to buy, right? So again, it's if something were to happen where Solana pulls back, where are we looking to, like, where do we expect support to be? Not where emotion is panicking us, but actually where we're saying, okay, no big deal. It's pulling back to the trend or the trend line in this case. And that's what we're finding on Solana here, right? So basically back to 164. Notice how, again, this level is right in line with this one little area right here as well. So that gives us a baseline. Now, number two, what we want to do is we want to say, okay, well, what's a parallel with that major low? And what we could do here is bring this up to this level. And this is also a good sign for Solana, the mere fact that we've now breached that parallel, right? So again, I still think you're due for a pause or a pullback, but based on this chart, we should go up a little bit more. Now, the big question is, where could we ultimately be headed? And the answer is you take that same major pivot low, and what we want to do is we want to find a trend line that is ascending that is likely going to shape a key level. And how do you know when a trend line is significant? Number one, it has to come from a major pivot. In this case, the April low. Number two, we want to see that it doesn't just connect from 1 point to 2 points, but along the way, there are other factors there, right? So in other words, notice right here, see you have the low of April, and then notice how you came down, how you kind of danced on the level up and down, hammering, and then finally broke through. And then you came back up to it and it got rejected. And then you came back up to it again and you got rejected. So this line isn't just connecting 2 points, right? Anyone can connect 2 points. I mean, heck, I can connect this point to this point. I can connect this point to this point. I can connect, the point is here, we want to see more than 2 points that have associated this chart with or this trend line with significance, right? And what we see here is you actually have a 4 handle. You have 4 points. Low pivot. Here it danced around it before breaking down. Here it retraced, got rejected, and here you got rejected again. And the odds now favor a move up on Solana to about the 264 to 265 range, right in that vicinity. And then that would be expected to be near-term resistance. And so all I can do is speak for myself in regards to where I am looking to trade this. And again, if I'm looking as a swing trader, and always remember, folks, I'm not a long-term investor, right? I have no idea. Someone asks me where Solana is in 5 years from now. I'm honestly going to tell you, I have no clue. No clue whatsoever. Heck, I don't even know where the stock market will be in 5 years from now. But in the short term, does technical analysis and trendline analysis give us the ability to figure out where we're going to get a significant pullback, or at least ability of pullback? And the answer is yes. And so 265 is going to be where I start dipping my toe in the water. Especially if we hit that in the next week or so, that would be a nice shortable level. Now, again, keep in mind, I'm not passing judgment saying that it can't go to 300 or 350 after that, but that level for me would be significant. All right, a couple other things we want to look at here. Let's go to our bigger time frame, right? I'm big on time frames, guys. So time frames for me, when I'm a swing trader, we look at the daily chart, the weekly chart, and the monthly chart. The daily chart gives you like the next 1 to 2 weeks generally. The weekly chart will give you the next 1 to 2 months of price action. And the monthly chart really gives you, a general idea of the major levels that could be 12 months out, right? So again, let's say a year out or so. All right, so what we do is we flip over to our weekly chart. And the first thing that jumps out at me on the weekly chart is that there's definitely, notice how once you broke up, look at how many times you came down to this general vicinity and held the line. All right. So when we look at this, what do? Well, we basically can say that Solana on any, let's say, longer term, this is going to have a lot of support in this vicinity, right? I mean, basically every time you've come down, even if you pierced it here, it still respected this zone anywhere between 125 and $100. All right, so that's good. And again, one of the big things that I do as a trader, and this comes from experience on taking losses, right? Every trader out there takes losses. I am no different. When you've been a trader for 26 years, the amount of losses that I have taken, I can't even count. I mean, they are a lot, especially early in my career, but even these days. I mean, I'm not perfect by any stretch. And so as a trader, I always want to say, okay, well, I might like to buy Solana at this level, which is the level we mentioned earlier on, right? That trend line. But what if it breaks? I mean, what if the stock market starts collapsing and all coins start dropping? I mean, what happens? Well, for me, that's where we go to the bigger time frame and we say, okay, let's just say my first support where I start buying. So keep in mind, guys, I gave you guys my shortable level, right, 265, and I gave you guys my long level, right, which was this beautiful upsloping trend line right here around 165. So it's actually kind of interesting because 265 and 165 are basically $100 apart. But let's just say the markets go crazy and this breaks through 165 and I've started a position at 165 and it starts coming down. Well, now I know where I want to add to that position, where the next big level of support is going to be, right? And that's really important as a technician. Okay, so that's giving me the next key answer to my ad level, or where I want to make sure that it holds, right? If it breaks below this $100 level, then you start getting into some troubled waters. I mean, but I don't think that will happen. Okay, now the last thing we want to do is we want to say, okay, well, what if this goes above 265? Where would be an ad level on a short? Like, let's say it goes to 300. Well, 300 we know is basically your double top. But I actually think if it does go up there, it probably goes a little bit higher. And what we simply do here, just using the simplicity of trend lines, just simply connect your bull market high from 2021 to your bull market high from earlier this year in January of 2025. And that upsloping trend line gives us a basis. So it's actually a Pierce of 300, right? It could be, it's an ascending trend line, so it goes up slightly. But basically, you're looking at like 302 to 305, we'll say. So for me, I'd start nibbling on a short at 265 and add pretty aggressively on a Pierce of 300 and look for a pullback and maneuver. And then on the downside, we know that if it gets to 165, there's a big support level. But then if it gets down to 100 to 125, that's major, like weekly longer term support. And that would be the accumulation zone of that position as well. And so again, these videos aren't to be like, buy here and look to make $1 million, right? Or short here and look to make $1 zillion. That's not a true trader. I mean, that's what you'll find out there on 99% of YouTube or social media, because everyone has an agenda. But in reality, once you get to the point where you remove the emotional attachment out from any single trade, it becomes really a calculation of risk versus reward. Where do I buy? Where do I short? Where do I add? Where do I, double up here? Where do I even exit the trade if it fails potentially as well? And you become agnostic to whatever you're trading. Like, we could be looking at a chart of XRP. We could be looking at a chart of gold. We could be looking at a chart of Apple. Doesn't matter. The chart is the simple chart. And again, it could be anything. The technicals are the same. The trend lines are still aligning with the key pivot lows. And you're looking for those multiple tags of that line to prove that it is a major level versus just connecting 2 points, right? Which is, yes, that's technically a trend line. But again, the key to analysis is that on trend lines, you don't just want it to tag 2 points, because any 2 points can be connected. It needs to prove to you that it has worked at other points along that line, whether it's kind of danced along it or other. All right. So in any case, guys, again, these videos give you an idea. So I have a bullish near-term buy as well. Let's caveat that. I think you're at a time count, and I know I've said a lot in this video, and I apologize, but you're at a time count. So look for a pause this weekend or a little pullback in the next few days. Then I think you continue to favor the upside to maybe 265 or so. Then you run into big resistance. All right. So that's the short and kind of, let's just say, few day to couple week outlook. And then we know our levels where I'm going to be trading both on the short side as well as buying on the long side, right? All right. You guys are amazing. Thank you so much. Listen, your comments really warm my heart. I love the fact that you guys are learning from these videos. That's why I do so many of these, because I want to spread the ability, especially in the world we live in today. There's social media just creates, it's basically, first of all, it's a detriment to society, in my humble opinion, but it creates an emotional response. And the algorithms and people have figured out that if they create animosity and fear or greed, they make more money from the social media places that pay out, right? Because they're getting more interaction. And even countries do this to get people galvanized. Heck, political parties do this to get people galvanized. And it's horrible. And it hurts investors, not from that side, but from the emotional. When you see enough people telling you something's going to $1 million and it's only $20 per coin, naturally we're like, oh, well, look at all these people that have a big following saying it's going up here, and you tend to follow. And then what ends up happening? It's a rug pull, right? I mean, we've seen it over and over again. So I strongly encourage, just learn, shut down emotion, have no attachments on the emotional side to any investment. Investments are investments, meaning they're meant to make you and your family money, not to be fallen in love with. I always say, don't fall in love with something that can't fall in love with you. and no investment can fall in love with anyone, right? So the idea is use it for your advantage, and when it's done being used and you think it's overbought or oversold, get rid of it. Done. All right. Thank you guys so much. Come visit us at Verified Investing, guys. Share this video with your friends, your family. If you think anyone could benefit, share it. I really hope that I can reach more and more people, and we can start a movement towards getting back and basically fighting up against the institutional money that kind of bullies all the retail investors. That's my hope, at least. Have a great one, guys. Take care.